I have dealt with thousands of panic attacks throughout my 5-year-long struggle with anxiety, and these are 6 facts about the physical sensations of anxiety that I, and now you, always have to remind yourself of, so that they no longer keep dragging you back into this vicious anxiety loop. Number 1. Physical symptoms of anxiety feel real and are real. While many believe that anxiety is purely a mental thing, I can guarantee you that the physical sensations that they can bring on are 100% real. And that especially if you have been dealing with anxiety for a while and you've become so in tune with your body and hypersensitive to these changes. In this state, you can feel pretty much every little change that is happening to your body and also your surroundings. And because you are now so sensitized to these sensations, you will react heavily to them and often blow them out of proportion. And that all happens so fast and pretty much subconsciously, because if you honestly reflect on your behaviors and thoughts, you have been waiting for them. You were expecting for it to happen because you wanted to be safe and react appropriately in case the thing you worry about eventually pops up. And you probably know by now that it always does. Plus, do not forget that immense tension, both physically and mentally. In this state of bodily and mental stress, you're pretty much a gigantic conglomerate of symptoms with legs. And whatever you worry about will feel off or weird at some point. Number 2, just because a symptom is getting worse doesn't mean it's not anxiety. If you're anything like me, you too will always have one main worry, one illness or symptom that you just can't let go. Your brain cannot stop thinking about it and cannot stop scanning your body to see if it's still there or if it's actually getting worse. That is something you will be doing all day long, again, consciously or unconsciously. By having this laser focus on something so specific, there is no question about it. When this thing then happens, you will react so heavily to it. In my case, I could feel something small, but it would catapult myself into a full-blown panic attack with no build-up whatsoever. Simply a panic attack with a sense of doom and completely out of the blue. And also this immense focus on a specific body part, for example, you will automatically cause great tension in that area, which will lead to more discomfort, which you will associate as confirmation of a worsening state. Number 3. Symptoms that linger or are there 24/7 are not a sign that it is not anxiety. Especially after dealing with health anxiety for a while, our bodies are so tense, our minds are so sensitized, the body aches, stress hormones have flooded our body. We don't sleep well, we don't eat right, we isolate ourselves, we can't think about anything else than how we feel. In this state, it's no wonder that we will have specific things that will be there 24/7 and not just when we are in an actual panic state. Number 4, having symptoms when we're not feeling anxious is also not a sign of this not being anxiety. You have to understand that our sense of not being anxious is completely skewed. We have lived with so much stress, so much anxiety that our feeling of not being anxious would be a pretty horrific day for someone without an anxiety disorder. Does that make sense? Just because you don't feel as anxious as maybe the day before, well, but you're still pretty damn anxious and you're still in a sensitized state. And with your body still being this conglomerate of pain and sensations, there will always be something to find and feel and worry about. Number 5, changing symptoms are normal. You might have gotten one symptom checked out by a doctor or test for the 10th time, and now you stop worrying about it and come to terms with the fact that it might generally be just anxiety causing this. Great! But the fact is that mentally you are still in fight or flight mode. And in this mode you will simply latch onto the next best thing, the next disease, the next sensation that will confirm that there really is something else going on. You long for the feeling of certainty. And once you feel kind of certain about one symptom, your brain will quickly move on to the next, simply because your anxiety wants you to have full conviction first before you can move on. And that, my friend, is the battle we are all dealing with. 6. While they feel terrifying and worrisome, please remember that anxiety symptoms are not dangerous. They also don't mean that you are broken or are a not fixable case. This can be overcome, I promise. And to help you with that, please check out my ebook link below and watch this playlist over here.